A general election was held in Mexico on Sunday, July 2, 2000. Voters went to the polls to elect, on the federal level, a new president of the republic to serve a 6-year term, replacing then-Mexican President Ernesto Zedillo Ponce de León. 500 members to serve for a 3-year term in the Chamber of Deputies. 128 members to serve 6-year terms in the Senate. In each state, 2 first-past-the-post seats are allocated to the party with the largest share of the vote, and the remaining seat is given to the first runner-up. Several local ballots were also held on the same day, most notably, the general elections were held in Mexico on July 6, 2000. The presidential elections were won by Vicente Fox of the Alliance for Change, who received 43.4% of the vote, the first time the opposition had won an election since the Mexican Revolution. In the congressional elections, the Alliance for Change emerged as the largest faction in the Chamber of Deputies with 224 of the 500 seats, whilst the Institutional Revolutionary Party remained the largest faction in the Senate with 60 of the 128 seats in the Senate. Voter turnout was between 63 and 64% in the elections. This a historically significant election that made Fox the first president elected from an opposition party since Francisco I. Madero in 1910 and the first one in 71 years to defeat, with 42% of the vote, the then-dominant Institutional Revolutionary Party. Presidential election, despite some isolated incidents of irregularities and problems, such as one in the southern state of Campeche which involved the European Union electoral observer Rocco Buttiglione and which could have created problems for President Ernesto Zedillo had the PRI candidate won, there was little evidence that those incidents were centrally coordinated and critics concluded that the irregularities that occurred did not alter the outcome of the presidential vote, which was more definitive than expected. Civic organizations fielded more than 80,000 trained electoral observers. Foreign observers were invited to witness the process, and numerous quick count operations and exit polls validated the official vote tabulation. The largest exit poll was organized by the U.S. firm Penn, Shan & Byrland, financed by a hitherto obscure outfit in Dallas called Democracy Watch. Numerous electoral reforms implemented since 1989 aided in the opening of the Mexican political system, and since then opposition parties made historic gains in elections at all levels. The chief electoral concerns shifted from outright fraud to campaign fairness issues and, between 1995 and 1996, the political parties negotiated constitutional amendments to address these issues. The legislation implemented included major points of consensus that had been worked out with the opposition parties. Under the new laws, public financing predominated over private contributions to political parties, procedures for auditing parties were tightened, and the authority and independence of the electoral institutions was strengthened. The court system was also given greatly expanded authority to hear civil rights cases on electoral matters brought by individuals or groups. In short, the extensive reform efforts of the 1990s leveled the playing field for the parties. Results by state. Based on the official results of the Federal Electoral Institute, Congress of the Union, Senate, Chamber of Deputies, references.